हेलो फोक्स, वेलकम टू आवर चैनल। मुझे याद है कुछ साल पहले आई वाज हैविंग अ कॉन्वर्सेशन विद माय डैड कि हम ऐसे अर्ली रिटायरमेंट का सोच रहे हैं और ये हमारी फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग है अराउंड इट। एंड ही मेड एन इंटरेस्टिंग रिमार्क व्हिच हैज रिमेन्ड इन माय माइंड सिंस देन. He mentioned that he knew his exact retirement date the day he started his working career. um, Going by the retirement age in a government sector and planning to make any major changes in his life pre or post retirement. His retirement planning, in his own words, was simple, predictable and conventional. But aaj aisa nahi hai. There are things which are changing because most people are going the fire way. They are becoming global citizens and they are choosing some exotic locations to retire. So the retirement planning is not simple anymore. और यही आज का हमारा टॉपिक है. I will cover the most important aspects according to our personal experience that needs to be considered before or as we approach retirement. So let's get started. And the first thing that I would like to mention is something that we think people tend to ignore या उसको इतनी अटेंशन नहीं देते हैं जितनी बाकी टॉपिक्स को देते हैं. एंड दैट इज व्हाट एम आई रिटायरिंग टू. ना जब भी हम रिटायरमेंट के बारे में सोचते हैं, स्पेशली व्हेन वी आर वर्किंग, अगर हमारे को लेट्स से जॉब में कुछ इश्यूज हैं और वी हैव अ वर्क स्ट्रेस, एंड वी जनरली थिंक ऑफ एन इमेज ऑफ रिटायरमेंट कि जब आई विल हैव ऑल द टाइम ऑन माय हैंड, देन आराम से सुबह उठेंगे, वी विल मीट अप विद आवर फ्रेंड्स, वी विल रीड बुक्स, हॉलीडेज पे जाएंगे, lie by the beach, have a cocktail and all those things. But realistically it does not happen, or it cannot happen for, let's say, 24/7, 365 days a year, and for the rest of your life, like 20, 30, 40 years. So you need to think about that, what is it that's going to take most time or most part of your retirement. It could be anything. हो सकता है आपका कोई इंटरेस्ट है, कोई पैशन, कोई हॉबी जो आप करना चाहते थे, और maybe you develop some new interest or hobby, or maybe you want to still do something related to work. आप कुछ पार्ट टाइम कंसल्टिंग करना चाहते हैं, प्रो बोनो वर्क करना चाहते हैं, you want to be involved in some social work. It could be anything. It could be a mix of things. But think about it, because it will not only keep you busy during retirement, but also inspire and motivate you in your journey to retirement. And the same thing happened with us. We decided on traveling and we made a list of all the road trips, the amazing train journeys and the hikes that we want to do. And there was so much to look forward to. So do give it a proper thought, plan for it, and if required, if you need to, prepare for things maybe 2 or 3 years in advance so that you are ready for your retirement. Now the next factor is location, where to retire. Now if you have already thought about your retirement location, आपने different factors को evaluate किया है and accordingly आपने decide किया है कि आप कहाँ पे retire होंगे, we still think that 1 or 2 years before retirement, revisit your decision. और वो क्यों? Just to validate कि जो भी आपने factors evaluate किए थे, those are still relevant and valid. Like there could be a change in visa rules. अगर आप different country में move करना चाहते हैं, there could be new tax implications. हो सकता है आप different city में move करना चाहते हैं और वहाँ की cost of living या quality of life जो है वो different हो गई है. Like we encountered the same thing जब हम अपनी short list discuss कर रहे थे या plan कर रहे थे. Then Thailand came up with a new type of visa, retirement visa, and that was very favorable to us. So that was a major factor for us in deciding for retirement in Thailand. And अगर आपने अब तक अपनी location नहीं decide की है, then also this is a good time to just explore all options. Maybe you don't want to do an international move. It could be a different city. It could be a different part of the city. हो सकता है आप एक independent house से आप condo में move करना चाहते हैं. It could be anything, but this is the right time. And some of the pointers to think about, हो सकता है आप flexible रहना चाहते हैं, that for the first few years you want to still stay at the same place. In later years you want to decide where do you want to spend rest of your retirement life. It could be a mix of that you want to, let's say, spend few months with where your family is, your kids are, and a few months traveling and few months with your rest of the family. So it could be a mix of things, but explore those options. And based on what you decide, the rest of the actions will follow. So अगर आप international move कर रहे हैं, then definitely 8 to 10 months before the retirement itself, you might have to start the process, the visa process. You have to collect the documents, and this also gives you time to prepare for, let's say, any surprise or any change in rules. And अगर आप international move नहीं कर रहे हैं, then also you might have to do some actions. Let's say you are moving your houses, so you have to sell your existing house or put it on rent. You might have to do some changes in the house so that it becomes more attractive for sale or for rental. आपका existing rental contract है जिसको आपको close करना है as per the timing of your retirement. Or it could be कि आप you want to upgrade or downsize or upsize your existing residence. So then also you will have to start those things right now. Next set of actions are related to the financials. And by financials, we don't mean your financial planning around your retirement corpus या आपकी withdrawal strategy क्या होगी, आपकी passive income कहाँ से आएगी. We assume you have already taken care of because it requires years and years of planning. यहाँ पे हमारा फाइनेंशियल्स को रिविजिट करने का पर्पस है टू स्ट्रेस टेस्ट योर फाइनेंशियल्स, बोथ इन थ्योरी एंड इन प्रैक्टिस. एंड वो आप कैसे कर सकते हैं? लेट्स से इन थ्योरी व्हाट यू कैन डू इज कि यू कैन वर्क आउट सम व्हाट इफ सिनेरियोज कि अगर इन्फ्लेशन लेट्स से आपने 5% ली है, वो 6% होती है. आपकी लेट्स से यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग योर पैसिव इनकम एज एक्स अमाउंट, अगर आप वो 10% कम है या ज्यादा है तो उससे क्या इम्पैक्ट होता है, आपका बजट पे क्या इम्पैक्ट होता है. सो यू कैन जस्ट वर्क आउट दीज थिंग्स टू सी दैट हाउ इट विल इम्पैक्ट योर फाइनेंशियल्स. Believe me, it will just give you some more confidence that yes, I have worked out different scenarios and still my decision remains the same. And secondly, what you can do is you can always get it reviewed by someone. और ये हम बार बार recommend करते हैं कि not only now but even before, when you are doing your financial planning, you should get your financials reviewed by, let's say, a friend, family member, a colleague, or maybe a financial advisor, whoever you trust, whoever you think can give you a very impartial advice on that. And this check can be just, maybe somebody finds out कुछ minor mistakes कि आपने कुछ calculation में गलती की है या फिर आपने कुछ item miss किया है, or it could be something major. But just do it before you actually get into the retirement. And now when we talk about कि आपको अपने financials को stress test करना है in practice, again you can do couple of things for that. One is that you can start practicing the mindset which is required in retirement. Now when we talk about mindset, there are changes that you have to do, especially जो आपका financial mindset होता है, क्योंकि आपका जो first 40-50 years तक आपका mindset is financial mindset, which is something which we are taught about कि आपको save करना है, लेकिन retirement में आपको actually spend करना है. So the being comfortable with that mindset does also require practice. The second mindset shift is, or the second practice you can do is cash flow. When you are working, when your income एक regular income आ रही है आपकी हर महीने, तो you don't think about कि मेरा next महीने का खर्चा कहाँ से चलेगा या for next 6 months how does my cash flow look like. Generally we don't do that. But in retirement, that becomes one of the most important financial activity to do, because you don't have regular income. You might have passive income, but वो भी कई बार regular नहीं. So you have to take care of कि आपके next year के next month के expenses कहाँ से होंगे, for the next 2-3 months आपके cash flow कैसा है. And maybe in order to meet those expenses, हो सकता है आपको अपने investments को liquidate करना पड़े. Then which is the best investment to liquidate without having any loss on the investments? So think about it and start practicing this mindset before you actually get into retirement. And the third is the budget itself. कि जो भी आपने एक future expenses सोचे हैं कि this is how my budget looks like in retirement, maybe start practicing that budget let's say for a few months, maybe you don't have to do it for 2 years completely, but let's say you say, okay, for 2 months, let me see if I can stay on that budget or not, if I can be within that budget or not. So these are the some of the things that you can do कि अगर आप थ्योरी में आपने उसको रिव्यू करवा लिया है अपने फाइनेंशियल्स को, या फिर आपने कुछ चीजों को जो आपने सोची हुई है उनको प्रैक्टिस किया है माइंडसेट को, देन यू विल बी मच मोर कंफर्टेबल टू ease in your retirement. Now, the next set of actions are related to health. And we would recommend 3 actions specifically in this category. First and foremost, sign up for a private health insurance, not only for yourself, but your family. Now, I believe that the most underrated benefit of your working life is your corporate health insurance. आपका इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम जो है आपकी कंपनी पे करती है. अगर आपके कोई मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस हैं तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम दे आर कवर्ड अंडर द इंश्योरेंस, या तो वो कैशलेस है या रीइंबर्समेंट है. एंड ऑल्सो in your 20s 30s you are relatively healthy, so you don't feel the pinch of medical cost or medical expenses, out of pocket expenses. But as you move in the retirement, you have to rely on your private health insurance. So ऑलरेडी आप उसको साइन अप करके रखें अकॉर्डिंग टू योर सिचुएशन. कौन सी कंट्री में आप रिटायर करना चाहते हैं, किस एज में रिटायर कर रहे हैं, व्हाट इज योर करंट हेल्थ स्टेट, व्हाट इज योर फैमिली हिस्ट्री. बेस्ड ऑन दैट एक्सप्लोर ऑप्शंस एंड साइन अप फॉर द फेवरेबल हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. एंड द सेकेंड थिंग वी रिकमेंड in health is get your extensive health checkup done. That will really help you to give for signing up for the health insurance, but also if there is something which comes up in that you need to take care of, this is the best time to do it while you are still under corporate insurance. And also the third thing is that maybe kuch non-emergency medical procedures and that you are putting it on hold ki abhi to job hai, time nahi hai, this is the right time to do it. Again, you have the corporate insurance cover, so cover in that. Now, these last 2 action items are actually my favorite. It does not require a lot of planning, but more of action. The first one is discuss with your family and friends. Now, retirement is a big change in your life, but remember, it is also a big change in the life of your kids, your spouse, your parents, your friends, social circle, and so on. So don't give them a surprise, especially अगर आप early retirement का plan कर रहे हैं. Take their guidance, take their opinion, talk to them about why you are doing it, when are you planning to do it, आपका budget क्या होगा, आपका lifestyle क्या होगा, what are the activities you are planning. Take their opinion about it, discuss it at least an year before you are planning to do it, so that they also get time to adjust to that lifestyle or your thinking, or you also get time to make any changes if you get some new feedback. Declutter yourself. For me, it was the hardest thing to do, even harder than having conversation with my mom about कि हम early retirement का सोच रहे हैं और हमने सारी financial planning की है उसके around. This is a big moment or big change in your life, so let it be a big refresh moment also in your life. And when we talk about declutter, we don't just mean कि आप अपने physical space को clear करें और या अपने material possessions को कम करें, but also this is a moment to have look at your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, the feeling of letting go. I had the same thing. I mean, I had over the years, I had collected almost like 300 to 400 books. And when Yogesh asked me to give it away, my first reaction was impossible. But when I started doing it, because it made more sense, when I started doing it, I started giving it away. I felt so good because I was giving it to people who need it. I didn't need it. It cleared my physical space. It cleared my mental space also. And in fact, Yogesh thinks that I went overboard by giving away, material possessions, some household items, some collectibles. Of course, अब अपनी closet को clear करने में शायद ज़्यादा time नहीं लगता, but what takes time is the mindset. The mindset of letting go, not buying new possessions. So it's better to practice this mindset maybe an year before the retirement rather than after retirement. So, folks, this was our list, and it was so much fun doing these activities, planning these activities. It really helped us ease ourselves into our retirement. I hope you found this list comprehensive and useful. And if you think I missed out on something, please do mention in comment section. It will definitely help people who are in the process of planning their retirement or getting closer to the retirement years. If you like the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Until the next video and next topic, goodbye from me.